purely educational and informational, this video. And last night, in the spirit of science, something that I actually have that most people lack, sadly, um, not bragging, it's just a fact. I was first watching a movie, drinking lots of beers, and I decided, I have never done, well, I've attempted and chickened out on doing an intravenous injection before. And I thought, how can I be a medical professional if I am not proficient at doing my own intravenous injections? I am proficient at doing intramuscular injections, subcutaneous injections, all other routes of administration, but was not proficient in doing intravenous injections. So in the spirit of science, I decided, you know what? I'm going to be productive. No watching a movie tonight. This will be injection practice time. So I didn't really have to prepare lots of beers. They were in a refrigerator, but I kept two ready at all times because they're small, 330 milliliter beers. So I spent the night downing those beers, lots of them, while starting in the center. I think it's called the basilic vein, right there. I'm not too good with names. Starting there, I don't remember if I went down first and then up, and then I went from here. Yeah, so this arm I went up, this arm I went down, then I did some foot shots. Great night, hard work, not just fun. But that's how you gotta do things. You gotta combine fun and learning. Now, I know intravenous injections are a practical skill, as in students do actually learn how to do them, but I think there's a big something missing when you don't learn how to do them on yourself. Plus, I think it's not right to practice on a sick person in a hospital and screw up on them. You should have to screw up on yourself if you're going to screw up. Now, of course, some people tell me, oh, don't screw up on yourself, just screw up on them. Well, it's like, I'm a very moral person. I'm not going to I'm not an idiot, but there's a lot of idiots out there who are in medical school, and they'd go into a hospital, jab a bunch of needles in someone, trying to get an intravenous injection, and they're going to be jabbing in a bunch of times. Maybe they forget to aspirate one of the times, and they push the stuff into the person's fat instead of the vein because they weren't actually in the vein. Bottom line is, I don't think it's right that people are allowed to screw up on other people. You should have to screw up on yourself. I mean, it is safe, but I don't think you should be able to subject someone else to that unpleasantness, because maybe they would try a little bit harder if they had to experience the unpleasantness of screwing up. I don't think most students are very thoughtful. I am. I would not want to go to someone having never done what? Like I said, I'm smart. I could pull it off. I pulled it off myself real easily. It's not hard. Also, I do have pretty easy to see veins, but I did decide to go for some deeper ones to get better practice. But yeah, that's how you got to do it. Make it a fun project. I spent the whole night, several hours doing that. I had a good time, considering that I made it a rule to keep drinking the whole time. I got pretty drunk, but that made it all the more easy to stick needles in my arms and legs. So yeah, I think a lot of people miss out because they don't have the spirit of science. You think that all the people who created this modern world were just reading books and writing theories or practicing on you do need to practice on other people. This is an actual practical thing that you do, not just read. So that's good. It would be horrible if students just read it, but Yeah, most doctors do not have much experience doing intravenous injections. I, and I don't know if they have any doing it to themselves. It just blows my mind how you can consider yourself a medical professional if you don't do it to yourself. Like you call someone else in to give you an intravenous injection. But yeah, the real scientists who came up with the science that built our modern world, they weren't waiting to go to class to learn this. They weren't just reading books to learn things. They were experimenting. They were having a good time doing it. And that's what we lack nowadays. It's like one time I was in a Zoom lecture in a biology class, and I talked about doing experiments on mice at home. And they're, oh my God, you would do that? That's crazy. That's horrible. It's like, what the hell's wrong with you? You're in a university, supposedly studying science, and you think it's crazy to experiment on some mice at home? Doesn't make sense. How can you be a scientist? Well, you're not. If it blows your mind to do science.